and galleries in Indonesia that you can visit. First, the History of Java Museum in Bantul, Yogyakarta. This museum uses advanced augmented reality and video mapping technology to introduce Japanese culture and the history of ancient kingdoms. This augmented reality technology forms a virtual image of a real object. If you guys want to visit this museum, you have to download its app first, which is available in Google Play Store. Through the app, visitors will only need to point a camera at a certain object or information boards, then automatically the portrait starts coming alive in the 3D. Following the advanced technology is the 10th November Museum in Surabaya, East Java, where it highlights holograms, a three-dimensional visualization to explain historical documentaries. Interestingly enough, there is also an audio narrative that will help the visitors engage in the storytelling. Here, the hologram plays a role in the storytelling of the featured monuments such as the Tugu Pahlawan Monument or the Heroes Monument and why it has 11 levels in it. Lastly, the National Gallery of Indonesia that offers virtual tours for arts and history enthusiasts. This gallery officially opened an exhibition with a 360-degree virtual tour. This virtual trip will take visitors to explore rooms of the gallery exhibition that showcases a combination of history of arts and Indonesia's social conditions.
Hello, you're now watching See the Stories on 3-Hour News Show on See Today. So, we've seen the many ways museums in Indonesia try to enhance the experience of the visitors upon their visit. Since our activities are very much limited during the pandemic, I want to ask you guys, when was the last time you guys visited a museum?
Okay, so in January 2020, I actually took the train from Switzerland because there was an event there. To Brussels, Belgium, and I went to the Atomium Museum in Brussels, which was holding the World Expo in the 50s, I believe. So that's a really good museum. And then I just went across, and there was I think there was a contemporary arts museum. And again, there's so many things I saw, I can't really explain to you right now. But there's just two different things. But everything is there's a lot of modern and technology feel to it. Although it was actually the monument was erected in the 50s, but it's still that there's that vintage science feel to it that I also really like.
Wow, that's very cool, Yasha. I can tell that you're an exhibition and museum lover. What about you, Bruce?
To answer your question, can an aquarium be considered a museum also? Because I went to an aquarium where they had all sorts of fish on display. That was in Paris back in 2019. So I consider that a visit to the museum also because I learned so much about fish.
Yeah.
Different to what Yasha experienced, but at least I learned
You love the
something.
underwater life.
Yes, there you go.
It's quite ironic that Indonesia is an archipelago with so much sea territories that you actually went to learn about fish in Paris.
All the way in Paris, yeah.
All right, for
I
me,
like the irony in that.
last time I went to the museum is before the pandemic. To the Museum Macan, the very popular one in Jakarta. All right, so I generally love reading and learning, so I love going to the museum because there are a lot of history-related information that I can get. What about you guys?
So much
What do you feel
information.
very beneficial about visiting a museum?
Seeing, in that case, when I went to the aquarium, I didn't realize there were that many species of fish. And of course, you learn so much. I don't know, like their colors, their habitats, their environments, so much to learn. And of course, it was a family day for me, so I took my nieces there. It was a good
It's
bonding
very fun,
experience.
right? Yeah.
Yasha?
For me, it's like going into time machine. What do you think, Yasha?
I like that idea. That's also what I experienced when I visited the Atomium Museum in Brussels, actually, because it actually took me back into the 50s and 60s of Europe, and they also updated a lot of information there. But there's a lot of pictures. There's some diorama. There's a lot of posters from that area of people. So it was just very. I thought it was breathtaking, and to be able to visit and be present in that space that has been that monument has been there since the 50s. I think it was great.
So
And-
immerse yourself in an environment in a time when we
Yes.
weren't even born yet.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
being immersed, going to the museum is an experience, right? And you want to immerse yourself in that experience. You don't just go to just kind of see things or read plaques, because
One art to another, it keeps sparking your curiosity, right? Curiosity, sorry.
yeah, absolutely. And I think what we saw earlier, the use of technology has really revolutionized how visitors experience museum, and I think it's very crucial for the next generation to experience it like that.
All right.
So I think we're actually joined talking about museums. We're talking about Europe. We are actually joined by a friend of mine. There's Mona Liem, and we want to say hi to her. But first, I would like to introduce you. Mona Liem is an art curator and entrepreneur based in Switzerland under the Connected Art platform. She has a master's degree in curating at the Zurich University of Arts in 2016. And so she's been in this art and science technology field in prominent events and exhibitions as juror, as curator in Europe. And also one of them would be the Ars Electronica Festival in Linz, Austria, which I almost visited 2 years ago. But wait, that was last year. So she started also the Media Art Global Festival in Indonesia as artistic director and curator. That was 2009. And also the Wave of Tomorrow, which is a very cool exhibition that was held in November 2019.
Wow, I'd love to see that.
So Mona, how are you doing?
Hi, good, Desia. How about you?
Terrific, Mona. So, Mona, I think a lot of our audience, really would like to know what is New Media Arts and what museums have these collections?
Okay, so I should carefully to answer because new media art itself have a liquid definition compared contemporary art. So I can say new media art is art which utilize and reflect upon media and technology. Since we perceive reality as mediated by media and technology, so the medium itself is a lot. So can be coding, AR, VR, human body, daily life, biotechnology, computer, social media, internet, and so on. For me, is media art is wave from contemporary art in 21st century.
This is all very exciting stuff, exciting things that most people are not aware of. A lot of people still think museums are boring. It's something that old people go to. And usually children just don't put that in their. Then they don't. A lot of children, as we know, do not go to museums unless the parents actually bring them to, or it's as part of the school visit, right?
Yeah.
So you're based in Europe, and can you tell us, you also have children, what museums are worth to visit in Europe and why each one exciting? Can you cite some examples?
Actually, it's a lot of museums who very interesting, but it's different kind of type family. In Europe, usually the museum will be a weekend plan for mama or papa who willing to go and doesn't have time a lot in weekdays. So actually, is some museum around Europe that I can recommend. So one is Tate Modern in London or Liverpool too. So Ars Electronica for sure in Linz because we work together anyway.
Yes,
so
in Austria, yeah.
Hex and Baylor Foundation in Basel is very good. They have everything that single person, couple, family, art lover, or just people who like hang around can come. So and also ZKM, one of the new media art person say is a Mecca for our some place that like a Disneyland also that we can learn and explore a lot of things like edutainment in Germany. So one of the best ones, ZKM. So and one before you talk about Paris, Paris is always have a lot of variant museum. But I talk about more art and science technology museum. So I can recommend also Palais de Tokyo and or Atelier de Lumière. I'm sorry, I didn't speak French, I speak German, so maybe I pronounce not good, but this is some place that you can also visit in Europe. It's a very good one. So
So a lot of different types of visitors can enjoy it, right, Mona? Okay.
yes, yeah.
Will young people enjoy these rather than the classic museums? You know, the Natural History Museum, or the Fine Arts Museum,
Yes.
of showing the works of Baroque and Renaissance and all those things. Is this something that the younger visitors will appreciate more?
Yeah, I can. When I remember that when I read actually the database of a museum in 2020 actually is generally said below 20, 25 actually like to go to this kind of museum or festival or exhibition because it's like we know like they are close with social media and internet. In their daily life. So, and this kind of museum is provide this kind of information. The collection itself is so related with their life. They use, because I mentioned before, they have medium like VR, ER, internet things like math art, and so many things that involve the engagement of visitors. So I think it's my answer is yes, based on my experience to visit many things here. So yeah, I think young generation love to go to this kind of place more rather than the classic museum itself.
And there's a lot of interaction that can be done using all these technology, right, Mona? That I think a lot of young people can record. I mean, we cannot deny the importance of social media in communicating and the experience and promoting the experience of a museum. So I think, would you say that the interactivity also is an element that people are looking for in these modern museums?
Yes, sorry, Yasha. Modern museum is more for modern art, but it's like a current museum. Like I just want to definition like yeah. So the interactive is part of important point actually, but not the only point that they want to go. But they like to play. They like to feel the experience itself. Who make young generation want to visit this kind of museum rather than I explained before. So interactive is one of the interesting things to come actually. I hope I answered your question.
Okay, Mona Liem. Yes, that answers Yasha's question, I think. And from your point of view, the most important thing is the excitement. And what museum in Southeast Asia offers such excitements? Maybe Singapore museums, or you have other point of views?
Yeah, actually, unfortunately, compared Europe, like we have more rather than Southeast Asia, or even in Asia also is we have Korea, Japan, China, who provide a lot of kind of museum like that. But in Southeast Asia, I can say like Singapore, Art Science Museum Singapore is one of the good one. And also probably people didn't know, Indonesian didn't recognize that there is one museum in, Bangkok Art and Culture Center in Bangkok. So the quite interesting place to explore and enjoy the excitement, the story of behind art, science, technology itself actually.
All right, Mona, this is Bruce. My question is, you've mentioned all sorts of museums, both in Europe and also some found in Asia. But from your points of view, what can it benefit Indonesians perhaps with our culture, with our approach, with our attitude, our culture? Does it have anything to benefit us as Indonesians?
I think Indonesian, you mean like Indonesian, what we can learn from this kind of Europe experience. So, okay, I think we can learn from the, I need to, okay, unfortunately, I miss that, I wish like someday Indonesia also have this kind of museum, and what we can learn is the willingness to radical change about museum itself in Indonesia. So you mentioned also Museum Macan before is one of the good one. So, and we need to adapt with all the situation too. And in Indonesia point of view as Indonesian also, we need to explore more what we have actually. We have local heritage that with the diversity is really beautiful, but we should make it in new format itself. So embrace our source and highlight what we can have instead copying things. So
Okay.
yeah, and we need to engage more and involve many community, open synergy with different part, institution and so on to make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time, Mona. We really hope to see you back in Indonesia working on some really exciting projects like before and bringing about change and I guess revolutionize the museum and the art scene right here with all your experience in Europe.
Thank you, Mona.
Right, thank you, Mona.
Thanks, Mona. Dankeschön.
Thank you. Have a nice day all.
Well, that was really exciting, and
Yes.
and you know, we saw a lot of use of technology in the museums already in Indonesia. I think a lot more museums need to catch up on that because sometimes you see that technology can be something that is of a cost, but it would be a good investment, and you have to keep updating it because
Yes.
people are always looking for something new. I mean, the collections can be, of course, the collections are usually old and classic, but you have to present these collections in a modern way at all times with new approaches, right?
In a way to attract newer audiences. It's not easy to attract the attention of the younger generation these days.
Yes.
The technology may be the solution for that. All right, now, anything else, Yasha, perhaps?
Well, yeah, I think speaking of interactivity, it's we mentioned several museums before. There's a lot of interaction. There's a lot of opportunity for people to create content for their social media, and I think there's needs to be a lot of education as well. It's really good that these a lot new people. There's a lot of the new people going to the museums for the experience, but they also come for their content.
Yeah.
But at least it brings them in first. And
Yes.
having them in, paying the ticket price, hopefully will bring more life and sustainability to the industry.
Yes, expanding their mind of imagination, and
Yes.
as we said before, turning ourselves back into the time machine.
Yes. So we'll have another quick break after all the museum talk. That was very exciting, right? So we'll talk about something that is pleasant for our nose.